Hi there folks, welcome back to Rich Reviews. So I just got out watching, and it's about 11 o'clock here on the East Coast, The Suicide Squad, directed by James Gunn. And I know while a lot of people out there are thinking, well, it's another YouTube critic wanting to get more views for watching The Suicide Squad. Let me personally confess that I was not looking forward to another version of The Suicide Squad because, let's face it, the Ayer version wasn't all that great to begin with, although I do happen to love Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn and Viola Davis. And I'm sorry to say I find that Carla Delevingne as a love interest is not particularly interesting, nor was the villain she was being inhabited by. So basically, James Gunn obviously gets fired from Guardians of the Galaxy, and he makes his way over to DC because that's what you naturally would do at a time like this, go to your rival for competition. And of course, after everything cooled down, he goes back to Marvel, and I'm eagerly awaiting Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because, yes, I'm a person that happens to love 2, because who doesn't love The Chain by Fleetwood Mac? I know there are plenty of people that are clamoring out there for the Ayer director's cut vision of what that film entails. Now, I think to myself that film wanted me to take a shower afterwards, and even if I were to really love the Ayer cut of things, it would probably still want me to take a shower after. With the Suicide Squad, directed by James Gunn, is, I think, what you originally supposed to envision the Suicide Squad to be, an absurdist comedy that is not meant to be taken seriously, because how in the world do you describe an anthropomorphic weasel to take on a mission, and also a fully realized CGI shark that comes alive voiced by Sylvester Stallone? We also have cameos in the beginning from Michael Rooker, Nathan Fillion, who's I guess a James Gunn staple here, and also Pete Davidson. And we also have Jai Courtney, because who doesn't love Jai Courtney as the role of Boomerang? Basically, the plot here is basically absurd. Again, I love absurdity. I have my own absurdist sense of humor, although it's much more dry, because how else can you take seriously an evil villain being a giant starfish that looks like Starmie from Pokemon, who's trying to take over a village or an island nation? And the main sort of squad here, because let's face it, this is called Suicide Squad for nothing, and killing off people is a regular business for this type of movie. We're introduced to cast. Essentially, Idris Elba is basically Will Smith, only with a new character name, and basically the same motivation. The fact that he has a kid out there who's now a teenager, and she is getting caught shoplifting a watch. And he's like, yeah, I didn't want you, but your mother sprang you on me. We also happen to have Ratcatcher 2, whose father happens here to be Taika Waititi. And also we happen to have Polka Dot Man, played by that one guy that you constantly see everywhere. The one really absurdist thing is that he sees his mother everywhere. Pierre Capaldi, the old man doctor, who's now trying to control this starfish or experiment on people. And here's the thing, folks. I laughed my ass off with this film. I couldn't say that with the David Ayer cut. I love Joel Kinnaman. Joel Kinnaman is more fun this time around. And again, Margot Robbie. I love Margot Robbie. And again, just the overall absurdity with Margot Robbie killing people is wonderful. The audience that I saw this with was just laughing their ass off. Again, we could easily have more adventures with Suicide Squad because there are probably plenty of other villains that need in search of redemption. If you want to bring Will Smith back, please do, because who wouldn't want to see Will Smith doing Will Smithy things? And also, it's nice to see Elise Braga in this type of role as a freedom fighter. If you were in a real life situation, wouldn't an anthropomorphic shark be like, yeah, you would run away and not think twice about it? And the shark is like, me eat people. And I also happen to see a trailer for Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage, and I'm just sort of like, do I really have to sit through that as well? I mean, where's the absurdity? Can't James Gunn make a Venom film? At least that way it could embrace the absurdity of that. But alas, he probably won't, because he doesn't think Venom will probably be an interesting character to make it. At least a couple of points I'm just waiting for the kill to happen, because that's what this film requires it to be. So yeah, folks, amazingly enough, I am going to give this a leave work early because I haven't had this much fun in years. So folks, the Suicide Squad, you probably have seen it already. It's playing on HBO Max. So folks, Suicide Squad. As always, folks, like, comment, subscribe. Rich yourself of knowledge. I'm a Michael Rich Stu on Twitter. I'll see you next time, folks. Yes, hooray.